Welcome once again to Gomo's Itchy Nuisance and another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This time it's 6th edition, 2000 points. I got out my Empire and played my mates High Elves. If you follow along with our podcast at Old World Fanatics, you may have listened to the latest episode, which we actually talk through this, as well as some other stuff and obviously the Old World news. So, yeah, just before I kick it off, I guess I just wanted to say that, yeah, if you're not following us on Old World Fanatics, we'd really appreciate a subscribe and listen. I'm not sure if you're more into YouTube videos or podcasts, audio podcasts, but obviously, there's not just me in there. There's two other guys, so there's a little bit more banter, and they're coming out weekly pretty much. So I don't know what I'll do with this channel. I've got a number of subscribers, a lot of history there, so maybe we'll rename it to Old World Fanatics. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you'd rather, just myself doing videos, or you actually want to see more people on it and maybe even rebrand it. I'm open to everything, to be honest. So if you've got a thought, drop me some comments and we'll get back to you. Yeah, but ultimately this was a friendly game, but practicing a upcoming tournament in January. Probably the last 6th edition one we'll play, because hopefully Old World will be out in February. But yeah, this is one of our Josh on the podcast is the TO for, or one of the two were the TOs for Cancon 6th edition, and this is game one of that, I guess, scenario pack. So it's basically battle line, but you don't get the 100 victory points for killing generals. It's all about challenges in this this scenario. It's the actual all the games are going 20-0 system, like sort of usual, but then you get an extra 5 victory points for each game based on different scenarios. So this one is basically a challenging scenario. So the more challenges you win, the more bonus points you get, and even more bonus points if they're, the general and you've killed them and things like that. So yeah, it's sort of, I was taking the Empire just to get some other, get them back on the table. I haven't played them in 6th edition. I'll probably take Tomb Kings to Cancon, but I just wanted to, do something different, get something on there. I was playing Andrew from the podcast, and he's bringing his High Elves to Cancon, so he's probably running a very similar list to what you see here, whereas I'm not going to run the Empire, but wanted to have a bit of fun with it. So I don't have his list, but I'll just run through like I used to do. So yeah, it's basically battle line setup, and he's got a very fast High Elf list. So out on his left flank, he's got a dragon with a lord on it, with a 4+ save, plus a magic ring, the magic ring of Corin, whatever it is, that can destroy magic items or negate them. I can't remember which way it is, but I didn't want, as you'll see in a minute, I didn't want him doing that, because the whole point of my list was a little bit of fun around the challenges and maybe trying to get some Empire guys to try and kill some High Elves in challenges. So we'll see how that goes. Then he's got some Silver Helms with his level 2 of High Magic on there, which actually ends up with an extra spell and stuff. So he's got 3 spells. 2 Eagles behind the forest. And then in the center, Dragon Princes with his BSB. That BSB I should have learnt a little bit more. Actually has the plus D6 banner for combat res, which is really useful for Cav. That's cool. Just a chariot, bolt thrower, and right down the right, some more silver helms. Sorry, little 10-unit of archers and another chariot. So, and the other thing you'll find, what we did, because we just were, what you do, mate comes over, you sort of just, you're chatting more than doing anything else, and we ended up like not setting up the terrain that great, and there was a lot of scatter terrain because I was doing some stuff on my table beforehand. So I had all this stuff on there and we sort of just moved around, but it's probably not the greatest setup for actually Warhammer Fantasy. It's just too much terrain, and it screwed both of us really. So my left flank and my army is 10 handgunners with a champion there with the Hockland. My first mistake, I bought the Hockland for fun to try and snipe characters, and then forgot that I had him there and put him over on the left flank against people that he didn't even have any characters or people to shoot at, so that was a waste. You can see the mortar just sitting behind there. It's got some line of sight to people on the hill, as well as his the silver helms and stuff in the middle. And then the rest of mine's pretty much over on the right. So I've got from right to left the steam tank, trying that out. A detachment. Oh no, so that's my new unit of greatswords, which are almost fully painted. They're battle ready, but I'm still highlighting. My level 2 of Heaven's Magic in there. There was so little room because of these silly impassables I put on the table, which is my fault. I ended up having to put the detachments that the spearmen and the greatswords here had. They're just one in front of the other. I just didn't have room. So one little unit of 8 halberdiers is attached to the greatswords, and then the other one is behind them with a block of 24 spearmen with my elector count, and he's got the Horseman Spectrum, as well as the, I can't remember the sword, but it's the one that gives you +1 strength and always strikes first. And he's got a 5-up ward. So he's actually, the idea, obviously, trying to get him in challenge so he can actually try and do some damage. Then the Pistoliers, there's a hill there with crossbowmen and the volley gun. And out the back is my Peg Lord, who I want, a Peg Captain, I should say, who I wanted to get into challenge with his dragon. He's got the Sword of Fate, so I picked his dragon as the sort of target of that. So that gives him basically a 2-up to wound with D3 wounds with no armor saves. So I would have to roll really good, like hit all 3 of my hits to actually have a chance to kill the dragon. But, in a friendly game like this, I wanted to give it a go. Huntsmen aren't there, actually. They go in that forest at deployment time. And that's pretty much it. So, as I said, you can see these impassables that just cause so much problems. And in hindsight, we probably shouldn't have had that much crap on the table, but it is what it is. I got first turn, rolled all 5 dice on my steam tank, and that's what I rolled at the top there. 3 6s, 2 5s, and caused, 10 wounds to the thing. So that was great. Way to start. And then, I fired up at his... I think it was firing at his chariots or his archers with those handgunners, did a little bit of wounds. Because the reason why I put him there originally, because I wanted to remember that they got the D6 extra range. But of course, I forgot about this Hochland. I should have switched him with the crossbows, but it is what it is. Moved the steam tank up and just really tried to reposition out on the right, like start moving people to the right, because obviously his left flank's got all that fast coming in. I don't know. Like, the only hope I have is getting some challenges and kill the dragon, but we'll see how that goes. Killed a couple of archers. The steam tank, I can't remember if this is the turn I fired the cannon and it landed in front of the bolt thrower but misfired, so it just stuck in the mud, so it didn't do anything. The huntsmen, however, all 5 of them shoot at the the bolt thrower. Got 2 of them hit the crew and 2 wounds and killed the bolt thrower, so that was an awesome... These huntsmen were good. We did manage to kill a Silverhelm with the crossbow guys, and then into High Elves turn 1. So they just, he obviously comes flying down both flanks, chariot, and Silverhelm's ready to get a second turn charge. And, well, there's a closer shot, I guess. Yeah, he just positions a dragon ready to come in the flank. They're just getting ready for this charge, and there's a lot of people there that I'm not sure what to do with. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. I know it's gonna. All this side's going to collapse. But the whole idea of this mission is get in combat in challenges. So I was just hoping that I'll get a chance to get my Peg Knight and my elector count into combat. Some more pictures there. I don't know what I was... so I think all his shooting just took off a few of my crossbow guys. Then in the magic phase, he actually miscast and can't cast this turn or next. So that was good for me. But the shooting took out half my handgunners. So turn 2, I'm completely forgetting about this D6 combat res banner here, and I thought I played it pretty well in the sense that I went, well, I'll go in with my skirmishing huntsman and I'm only going up against 1 knight here. Maybe I can hold them and just block this dragon prince unit from getting in there, because that's the scary one, obviously, on the charge. The others, I might be able to do some damage with shooting and magic. So they go in. Steam tank probably didn't do a lot. I did get second Sign of Amul off and got 2 rerolls. And that's when I realised he's got the D6 banner and go, oh, that's not going to work. So yeah, I'm positioning now, just sending those crossbow guys. I had a level 1 of death magic too, sorry, in that unit. I've sent him off to the right in front of the dragon to act a bit of a speed bump if he wants to actually try and take him out. And then just trying to get the pistoliers and the crossbows at least in the way to at least give me another turn before he gets into my main blocks of troops. And you can see that's my middle. I've basically trying to position these spearmen, which has my general in it, and the peg knight just ready to, I guess, take whatever, once he takes out my right flank. Here's my two characters trying to maybe get to that dragon somehow. I did take my level 2 of Heavens out and sort of hid behind this wall here, so he's hitting me on 7, so that way I can get in range for my... I've got basically the 2d6 strength 4 no armor save spell out of Heavens, which is really good. Plus he's got the Ring of Volans, and I've rolled up the Death Magic one, which is a 12-inch range. I think it's D6 strength 3 no armor save hits to every unit in 12 inches. So I wanted him near that building, so then when these two units you can see at the front come around and destroy my handgunners, that at least I can start casting that. And it's good because it comes out of the ring. It's bound at 10 at a casting value of 10. The mortar gets a shot off and wipes all but 2 of the archers, but they hold, which is a bit annoying. And then my steam tank, this is when he misfires, but no, he probably doesn't. I can't remember what I do there. I think I can't shoot. So I positioned him that way and then realised, I can't shoot if you have a chance of hitting your own guys, because this thing can only shoot, I think, 16-inch guess. I just couldn't do it, so that was a bit of a waste. And the volley gun opens up and wipes out all but 1 silver helm. So that's at least that unit's a lot smaller now with the wizard in it. And then, yeah, you can see my archers there. That knight killed one of my archers, but then with the D6 combat res as well, just, yeah, I'm off. So that's when I realised what that banner does. I'll just say now too, guys, sorry, I was forgetting so much stuff in this game. I also forget to take the pictures in landscape. So that's why on my phone they're all coming up the other way. So sorry about that. Hopefully you can still see. And here we come with the charges. Turn 2, they go into my archers. I do stand and shoot and take out a couple of wounds on the chariot, but they still get in. I'm not sure what I was taking a picture of there. And the dragon goes into my death wizard. You can see above there the one of the eagles and that single silver helm with the mage goes into my crossbow guys. And chariot goes into the pistoliers. But the way it's happened now, like those because of the combat, no, they could have. Yeah, I think just the way. I don't know if there's a picture here. Basically, the dragon princes are a bit stuck. They're wide enough and they can't get around that chariot, so they're sort of stuck behind themselves a little bit, which is, if I can keep the pistoliers there and then hopefully get you can see my detachments top left there are sort of slowly working through the forest, trying to come up with the spearmen to try and get ready to take these charges. That top eagle goes into my volley gun as well. So yeah, this is just bad for me. Yep, destroys the handgunners and overruns. Obviously, they're dead. They're dead. Yeah, and obviously his general takes out my death wizard, so that's a challenge. So he's obviously got one of these scenario battle points. That's the overrun of one of the eagles. There goes my death wizard. Now his dragon did overrun it and went quite far and went on the other side of the hill, and so now I can see him with my peg knight. We were playing pretty friendly and just wanted to get into combat, so there was no use. He could have hedged and tried to, stay away and stuff, but why not? He's got a dragon, who cares? It was good that a low impact hits here, so the pistol is actually hold. Only lost 2 guys. I think we even might have done a wound or so to this chariot. So at least we're holding, and you can see where his dragon princes are. They're out of, they can't really do much at the moment. Yeah, and then obviously the volley gun's dead too. So yeah, they destroyed my right flank. But I've still got some big units here with my characters. So if I can get rid of this dragon, maybe I don't lose, by 20-0. Here's my little cool wizard guy. He's peeking out. Gets all but one wound off that chariot with a magic spell. So right now, yeah, actually we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, in goes the Peg Knight, turn 3. Going to kill this bloody dragon. And you can see there's, yeah, my general and his units just trying to move their way up into this gap. In hindsight, I probably should have just sat back and gone, well, you come to me, you come through this gap and then I'll be ready to take you with me and my great swords. I could have lined them up, but, you think about these things later. Right now, I just wanted to try get into combat. They've also got the Griffin standards. That's why they're sort of ranked like that. They've got a really high, obviously, combat res at the moment. The mortar goes... No, this was magic, sorry. I got off the death spell from the bound item and blew up all but one of his silver helm. So out on the right, he's got a chariot with 1 wound, silver helm, 1 silver helm. And then the mortar also hit his archers and killed only 1. And they didn't run. So out on his right flank, he's got basically 1 wound in all 3 of those different red units, which sucked. In my turn 3, I tried to shoot the cannon out, one of his eagles, and I misfire and roll 1 on the cannon, blow it up, and take my hit points down to 9. So this team tank's been useless. This is the picture of the 1 archer left. And he's brave, he's not running away. And in combat, my pistoliers, you can see here his chariot's only got 1 wound left and or took a wound, I can't remember which way he counts, but yeah, you can see I've only lost 1 pistolier. So they're doing their job, they're holding this whole, sort of blocking this whole area up, which is pretty cool. And then I go in and I rolled my 3 hits. I really need 3 dice to go 4 up so I can actually hopefully get, 3 wounds through on a 2 up with no armor save, D3 wounds. But I only got 2 hits through, but that's still pretty good. And I caused 4 wounds to the dragon out of its 6, which was good. But then, of course, with his dragon and his lord on top, he wiped my poor Peg Knight. So he's dead. It was worth it. It was a bit of fun. That was the whole idea of trying to have that character in there. And yeah, those handgunners are dead and repositioned. Oh, sorry, you can see the silver helm, he went into the mortar. And this bit of a mistake on Andrew's part, he forgot about my general, I guess. So he positioned his dragon up here to do a really good maximum breath weapon on it. So that's what he's done there. And then he's brought his, still trying to reposition these dragon princes and just took in that the mage and the silver helm into my pistoliers just to clear all that out so we can get these dragon princes in. There's the breath weapon. Just wiped out my spearmen. But they hold. And then, he takes out my pistoliers finally. Takes out my mortar. That guy runs off, so he's off the board. But then top of my turn 4, I send my Horseman Speculum guy, my electric count. Now, I'm playing a Witch Hunter as my elector count, by the way, so that's just part of the backstory of this list. He does a charge out of the unit at the dragon. So, and this is where it gets a little controversial. It wasn't for us, but we were confused with the ruling. As far as we could tell, the Van Horst Speculum, you swap your stats with your enemy, it just says enemy, for the remainder of the challenge. And because this is a dragon and a lord, I chose to swap it with the dragon because it's not specific to whether or not it's a character or things like that. So right now I've got dragon stats, at least for strength and toughness. I have a +1 strength, so now I've got 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 7 against tough 4 with always strikes first. So yeah, I was able to destroy his dragon in that first round of my combat. I also moved the Empire, my huntsman up again, hopefully, just enough so he can't sort of get that flank charge into my detachments there with his dragon prince. He's going to have to hit my huntsman first. Managed to get the steam tank. So the steam tank has no cannon. He's got 9 hit points left. All he can do is drive. And even then, do I really want to be throwing like 2 or 3 steam points at this thing because, I've got to roll under 9. But I chose to do it this turn and I actually rolled under 9. So he's moved right up. And I thought if I can do it once more, by then maybe his eagle or one of his other units is close by once I do some charging with the spearmen. I might be able to get a steam tank charge off. And here we go, trying to blow things up. Oh, it looks like I did. I can't remember which spell, but I did take out his chariot. And I get the... sorry, it looks like it's... Oh, no, I only did one wound last turn, so yes. It's turn 4 combat. I take out the dragon. And you can actually see... So I've killed the dragon. He's actually come in on his turn. No, sorry, I'm just having a look at this. Sorry, it must be... That's my turn. In his turn, so the dragon's now dead and he comes in. So we're still in a challenge, but he comes in to get a flank combat res with his chariot. So we can't actually do impact hits to me, so I'm lucky about that. This is where the grey area happens. I'd love anyone's comments here. What stats does my elector count have now? Because the thing just said enemy and to the end of the combat. We weren't sure if that meant should be now do I swap stats to the Elven Lord now, or do I keep the dragon stats? Because that's what I started out with in the challenge, and you know it swapped till the end of the challenge, which is still going. You know, we looked. I don't know. We just we just diced it, and we diced it to the. It came out for me that I'd have dragon stats. So, I mean, it probably didn't make a massive difference, but it is a bit of a weird grey area. So I'd love to know what the proper ruling would be, or if we did that one wrong. Yeah, this unit goes into my halberdiers. Dragon Prince has destroyed my huntsman up there. I think it might have ran actually, and then he didn't pursue because he doesn't want to go in the forest with his Dragon Princes. You can see his chariot there has fled too. So because I killed the dragon, I won combat. That chariot ran off, but his Elven Lord stayed. My wizard's gone into this little halberd unit. Obviously, it's not really a detachment now because it's outside of 3 inches, but at least gives me a bit of safety. And then I finally... Oh, looks like I got his lord down to 2 wounds left. I still hadn't killed him. Yeah, so my spearman had gone in to the flank of his silver helm and wizard, which you can see just under the left wing of the eagle. And so we actually broke them in combat. They fled. We didn't catch them, but the spearman ended up in the flank of the Dragon Princes. But they got the D6 banner. So here I am with Griffin standard, but only 2 ranks, which is going to 4 with a banner, outnumber. But he's got a D6 plus banner. So like if he didn't have that banner, I'd probably break that unit on combat res. But alas, he ended up rolling pretty good in those combats. He sends that 1 silver helm down here just to get away. I can't get the points for that. He's also got that 1 archer on the hills now hiding behind the hill, so I can't even get that. And then, yeah, he's turn 5, and when we're just fighting, he's just knocking down my spearman and his mage up there at the top of the screen there. He's not rallying, and he's still running. You can see, yeah, slowly getting through my spearman. I kill his lord, which is cool. But his dragon princes kill my... Oh, sorry, this is my turn. Going into my turn 6, I thought, well, I'll go for a charge. It doesn't even look like I can here, so I don't know why I did it. But I did throw the dice at my steam tank and blew it up. So that was a bit dumb on my part. Doesn't even look like this screenshot that I could even get anywhere close to combat, so I don't even know why I did that. Just gave him 300 victory points. But yeah, you can see he wiped out my spearman, overran with the dragon princes. His chariot's still there, 1 eagle, that's all he's got. The other guys didn't rally, they kept running. You can see that there. And that was pretty much game. So it ended up being, we added everything up because I didn't get those full units over the other side. He actually was up by about 100 victory points because he's got that Dragon Prince unit's pretty expensive. He's got 1 chariot, 1 eagle. He's still got that mage up there and just a lot of half victory points around the place. Whereas I've just got a big unit of great swords, which haven't done anything all game. My general's still alive. The detachment and my main wizard's still alive. So I still had a bit of points too, but obviously nowhere as much. But it was closer than I thought. And on top of that, because he won a lot more challenges than me, but I did the challenge that counted, I guess, was the general one and killing his general. So it ended up actually being a 13-13 draw because we both got 3 battle, sort of those extra little victory points. And the normal sort of victory points was a 10-10. So yeah, it was a bloody game. Awesome game. Not sure if I got some of that ruling right, but it was all in fun. The scenario is cool because it's not hard. It's not like a complex scenario. It's just like get in. You have to declare challenges. You have to accept them. And so you just you need to tool up your characters to be defensive or sneaky to try and kill them. That type of stuff. So, no, I really enjoyed it. If you want some more information, like listen to us talk about it as well as a lot of other old world stuff, please head over to oldworldfanatics.com and subscribe on any of those Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, things like that. I do repost the audio on YouTube, but would really love a sub on the main podcast. That'd be great. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.